My name is Summer Gales, and today I will be interviewing my grandmother about her experience with being a nearly full-time family caregiver. To give a little background information before we begin the interview, my grandmother, Miss Moore, is 66 years old and is nearly a full-time caregiver assistant for her mother, Mrs. Love, who is 91 years old. Every other day, my grandmother drives a mere 60 minutes one way to assist and care for her mother. She also brings Mrs. Love over to her house every weekend to better cater to her needs. So, Miss Moore, tell me a little bit about your elderly mother.
Well, my mother's a 91-year-old, very active woman. She can do some things independently, such as bathing, doing her own hair and nails. However, sometimes she do need some assistance with daily living skills.
What all goes into caring for her?
Well, mostly it's a lot of mental stress. However, there's a lot of time and energy that I have to put into her care. One thing for sure, I can tell you, my mom loves to shop. She can spend hours and hours a day in her favorite stores. That would even include the grocery store, even her favorite clothing stores, and even Walmart. I think we spend every weekend at least 10 hours a day shopping.
Why did you take it amongst yourself to care for your mother instead of hiring a caregiver assistant?
Well, I come from a very large family. My mother gave birth to 11 children. So I felt that if she was able to take care and raise 11 children, that in her elderly age, we could take care of her.
Do you have a part-time or full-time job that you attend when you are not caring for your mother?
Well, I'm currently a real estate agent, so I have to balance my time in taking care of my mother and working my full-time job.
The last question I wanted to ask is, since you are balancing work and caring for your elderly mother, do you consider yourself at times overworked or lacking in time to care for yourself?
I think that's always been my biggest challenge. I've seldom been a person to take self-care and take time for myself. I've always provided for other people first. In light of COVID-19, it's very stressful. I don't have any time to do anything but worry about her as well as worry about myself. I think I would have no choice but to be a caregiver. At this time, it's very expensive and you can't trust anyone to care for your loved ones.
The purpose of this interview was to get an idea of what family caregiving is like through the perspective of a family caregiver. As Mrs. Moore said, it requires selflessness and can be quite a stressful job. But with that being said, most can afford or simply don't want a stranger looking after their loved ones. So they choose to take the responsibility of being a family caregiver amongst themselves.